Trigger warning. In this video, we'll be discussing topics related to eating disorders, which may be distressing to some viewers. If you are struggling, please don't hesitate to reach out to someone you trust. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, you guys? It's T.
And it's Cindy.
And it's Tea Time with Cindy. And today, what is our topic of discussion?
What are your greatest fears?
Yeah, that is a good topic, you know, with Halloween around the corner. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let's start.
However, what kind of fear though?
Let's talk about our physical fears right now. Because so I know you already know one of my fears, which I'll get to later, but I realized I have a new fear because I recently watched The Terrifier, and it's a slasher gore, very heavy gore film. And now I have a fear of being brutally murdered, which I never had before. I never realized that I had this fear, but after watching The Terrifier, I swear every night I've had a nightmare.
Damn, you would not like those true crime podcasts then.
No, but it's actually, you're right, because when I got my LASIK done and I was just like laying in bed with my eyes closed because you're not supposed to open your eyes, I couldn't watch any shows or anything. So I was like, okay, let me put on a podcast and listen to something because I like watching true crime documentaries, but something about it being a podcast or not having any visuals, and I guess the music, it scares me. I had to turn it off. And be like, okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep. It's fine. But yeah, so those do scare me. But now I realize that I do have a fear of being brutally murdered, cut in half. Like those kind of fears. The Terrifier really terrified me. It put some fear in my heart.
Wait, so what was it about? Was it like Saw or?
No, because at least Saw has a storyline. The Terrifier is really just purely for the gore. It's there's not really a storyline. The main character, which is Art the Clown, he is this being, and I thought he was just a serial killer, but apparently he's magical or comes back to life or some sort of like weird ghost thing.
So like it's like a slasher it.
Yeah, pretty much. And they don't even get into really who or what his character is about. He just goes around killing people, and in like the most vicious, brutal ways possible. And they're all women. Well,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, like he kills men in the movies too, but the way that he kills women is like, I had to close my eyes for a lot of the scenes, and we watched the first two because the third movie's coming out, and Sean really wants to see that, so we watched those, and it traumatized me, and now I realize I have a fear of being viciously murdered, which is funny because I never considered myself to have a fear of death itself. If I were to, I don't know, not wake up in the morning and just find myself in heaven or wherever, I would like to think I'm going to heaven. I'm going to heaven. But, you know, if I did go to sleep and then the next morning find myself in heaven, I don't think I'd freak out or anything. I take death with open arms. But the way of reaching that point, I guess what scares me, like murder or drowning or being burned alive. Like those kind of things are scary.
I think maybe it's like a fear of pain.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, I have a fear of pain, I guess.
No, don't worry. It's all very valid.
Yeah.
Because
it's not an irrational fear. It's a very rational fear. As a woman, yes, I am afraid of getting brutally murdered by a serial killer. We seem to be their targets.
Well, yeah, because we're seen as a weaker gender.
Yeah, the weaker sex.
Right? Yeah. So, I think you would hate going to the movies with me.
Why?
Because I love horror films.
No, I love horror films. I love The Conjuring. I love Sinister. Sinister is like my favorite scary movie. I love all those things. I love like the ghost kind of stuff, but I do not like
the gore.
Slashers.
Slasher? Yeah.
Like Freddy Krueger stuff. I never watched those. Jason? is a scary.
It's a slasher film.
Yeah, Jason, Michael Myers. I don't really like those movies, but I like the ghost kind of paranormal.
Yeah, the one that's like based on a true stories. Those are scary
those.
to me.
Yeah, I love those. I love those actually. So
yeah, because
just not the gore.
The gore.
Yeah.
No, I get what you mean because like every time I get taken out on a date to watch a gory film, even though it says like I like horror film, I feel like there's a difference between horror and gore.
Yes, there is for sure.
Because I like the psychological, like horror,
the fear, like the
entice fear into me, that adrenaline rush, you know. But when it comes to like gore, films,
it sort of glorifies it and makes it more attractive than really what it is. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, those scenes were so good. The special effects, the special effects were great in and of themselves, but the concept behind it, the woman being viciously murdered, is not really my cup of tea.
But I also feel like maybe guys also take people, or they take me on those dates just so like I can hide into like their arm or something, or like hug them.
Definitely.
Because I know most of the time my eyes are closed.
Yeah. it is a really good moment to be like, oh, I'm scared. Hold me. But
I honestly feel like if any guy took me on a slasher film for a date, I figured out now that's one of my icks.
That is an ick. That is
one of my icks. I was like thinking so long and hard earlier about where my icks are.
I feel like those kind of slasher films where the serial killer is targeting women, I feel like there's just something, it makes my skin crawl when people like those movies, because at the point blank you're watching a woman get viciously murdered, and that's your favorite movie. That makes me so uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, at least you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You're married. So
I am married. I am married, but those kind of movies, that's not my cup of tea at all. And to people that do like that movie for the special effects, because the special effects are really good. Oh my gosh, they look like they're actually being murdered. But you really have to clarify why you like those movies, because the story of it is that women are getting unalived. I've been saying murdered this whole time.
just bleep it out.
But yeah, so that is my physical fear, I guess. I do have another fear, which is I do genuinely have a fear of spiders, or arachnophobia.
Really?
Like it's a genuine actual fear.
Oh, did something happen?
It's I don't know. Things did happen. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. She's not ready yet, guys.
It is an actual genuine fear. And I would tell people, and they would send me videos of spiders, and I was like, hey, let's not do that, because that's not cool, because that is a genuine fear. It's not like one of those hee hee ha ha fears. It's a real fear. It's not crippling to where I see a spider and then I like crawl up in a ball and start crying. I did do that once. I know. But it's not crippling in that sense, but I do have a very, 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 very strong aversion to spiders. So even at the Museum of Natural Science, they have a bug exhibit. Tell me why they got huge sculptures of spiders. I had to walk through the whole exhibit like this. And my friend had to guide me through the whole thing, because I really can't. Obviously, real ones, big no. Videos, no. Pictures, no. Cartoons, no. I can't. Something about them is just, I'm like thinking about it. Yeah. No, God. Yeah. I'm sweating right now. That one is an actual fear. So please nobody send me.
She really is.
Please nobody send me pictures of spiders, videos of spiders. No. I will, yeah.
Damn, this is where we're opposites, because I think spiders are the cutest. No.
I think
spiders are so cute.
No. I'm sweating right now.
Oh
no. Cut the camera. This is too much. Okay, what is your physical fear?
Shoulder rides. I know it's like so stupid, but I really do not like shoulder rides.
You don't like them, or you are like, put me down, I don't want to do
It's
this?
put me down, I don't want to do this.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like weird because I don't have a fear of heights or anything. And it's not because it's just, I guess it's like a trust factor because I did get dropped once.
So you do have some reason.
Yeah. My first and only time I ever got on a shoulder ride, I got dropped because the guy, he forgot I was on his shoulder and he leaned in to like, I don't know, like do whatever the guys do, like handshake or whatever, body bump, and he forgot I was on his shoulder and then we fell forward. And luckily, there was a couple people in front to cushion the fall. And yeah, since then it broke all trust that I can't trust any guy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I haven't tried girls yet. But I can't trust any guy to have me on his shoulder.
You were just so tiny and small that he didn't even feel the weight of you on his shoulders.
I mean, eventually I'll get over it because I do believe we should try to get over our fears, especially like in life. But if but if it's very, very bad, but if it's to the point where you're like sweating right now, talking about spiders, that's a hurdle we'll not even talk about, okay? We'll not. Okay, I'm so sorry. Cut the camera.
Get me some deodorant. I'm sweating.
Yeah, so one of my physical fear is shoulder rides. Eventually, I'll get over it. I think it's just a trust thing because a lot of my exes did try to get me to get on their shoulder, but I'm just like, I'm okay. It's not like I don't think you're strong.
But you trust them as people.
Yes, I do trust them as people, but it's also like a mental thing for me too, because I always believe that I might be a lot heavier than what they can handle. And so it's again, it's a mental block thing, okay?
See?
Like it's just
You're a bird.
No,
You're a tiny little baby bird. You are so small. What do you mean? That's crazy. That's so funny.
I just have really bad self body image. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I have body dysmorphia. I was bulimic in high school, and yeah, it's just when every time like I look at myself in the mirror, I just pinpoint all my imperfections. And that's why I have a weird relationship with food. But at the same time, it's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better. But I have been trying my best not to fall back into the bad habits when I feel like I was becoming over a certain weight.
Right.
And it's gotten a lot better. So that's why I feel I can eventually trust someone to put me on their shoulders. Because at the end of the day, it's not them. Okay, it's like 10% them, 90% me. And I don't know, I just never been lifted either ish, where I felt like I can trust them to lift me on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Wow, now I'm like visiting all my relationships thinking, yeah. And plus I've just been in a lot of bad relationships. I like how I'm midlife crisis right now.
She's like, wait a minute. These relationships suck.
Not to dive any deeper into my relationships as of now. We'll talk about that.
That's a topic for another day.
Hi, baby.
So back to the bulimic thing in high school. How did you overcome that? For people who are having issues with their self-image and all that, because I feel like I also do have issues with that as well, but not to the point where I was bulimic. So bulimic is when you
overeat and then you go throw up.
Like the binge eating and then okay, yeah. Because I never got to the point of, anorexia or bulimia or anything, but I do find myself struggling with my body as well. And it's hard to get over that, or it's hard to shake that mindset. So how did you?
Honestly, it was very hard. Well, it's still kind of hard right now. Definitely you have to work on your confidence in yourself and self-love. That's the number one thing, because you are looking in the mirror and you're looking at yourself, and you are your own worst enemy because you see all your imperfections. But again, it goes back to having an amazing support system as well, where everyone is very supportive of you, constantly reassuring you, even though you shouldn't be depending on other people's reassurance. It helped a lot. It helped me a lot to have family members, friends telling me, like, when I couldn't be kind to myself, they were kind to me. And I started repeating everything that everybody has always told me, because I've never really viewed myself as like the prettiest girl growing up or the most traditional Asian looking girl either. I was made fun of, I was picked on, and especially about my weight, because I wasn't the smallest. Because when you think Asian girl,
You think very small, very petite,
but
small.
growing up, like, I got made fun of because I had bigger thighs, so I got called like thunder thighs and stuff. And I remember, like, this one guy, he grabbed my stomach and pulled on it. It just, and he started laughing, and then other people started laughing, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so it kind of, you know, but anyways, it took a lot, and that's when I started distancing myself from people from school and branching out to other groups and all. Like, I wasn't really close to people in high school or middle school anymore, because it was,
Kids are mean.
yeah.
Kids are just mean.
But again, finding that support system, I distanced myself from people from school, and I found myself gravitating towards people that were actually uplifting, very supportive. And that's also where I started having my cutoff game, where if you are toxic towards me, and regardless of me giving you all the patience, all of the chances for you to show me that you deserve my kindness and my patience, you keep breaking it over and over again, I'm just gonna have to pull back, you know? And so having a good support system to reassure you, having to constantly tell yourself you are good enough, having to also look in the mirror and tell yourself the same thing, like, you are good enough, you're beautiful, the affirmations, you know? It wasn't until I started journaling and doing affirmations a couple years ago where I started to believe I can overcome this issue. But it did lead to a lot of other dangerous habits, but again, it's just having that willpower too. And it is hard, but again, just find the support. And for the people that do feel like they're alone, you're never alone. You can just connect with people online, you know? You can go on Reddit or other sub-forums or forums to find a support system, because there's always a community out there to help others with the same problems. That's why we started this podcast too, to, you know, if we're talking about things that resonate, hopefully we can be that support system for that person. And that's where, again, being surrounded by people on the same wavelength and or better in a sense, and having a feel of, are they a good person or not, it really helped a lot. And I did also confide in my sister and my mom about it, and they helped me watch how I eat, how I ate too, because I need the help. I needed the help.
Yeah.
Because I am my worst enemy, so I will do things to hurt myself, but I don't do that anymore.
That's good.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now about your self-image?
I love myself now.
Slay!
Yeah, I love myself now. It took a long time coming, but I love myself. I love how I look. I'm constantly like looking at myself in the mirror. Not gonna lie.
Yes.
But also another thing that also helped too was doing photo shoots.
Yes.
Doing photo shoots. I was doing it since I was 16. Doing the shoots actually helped me see another side of me that I kept bearing or from the negativity or people's opinion and all. And so during the shoots, it helped my confidence and helped me be like if these photographers or these people are looking at you in a certain light, how come you can't see yourself in that light too? And that's where I had to work on myself and train myself to see myself in that light. But yeah, so I do recommend getting support. Do photo shoots. They do help. Just even if it's like getting somebody to just take on your phone, or you can get a tripod and like do it yourself too.
Right.
And just be surrounded by good people.
Yeah. Exactly. I love that. And I'm happy for you because, you know, you are beautiful. You are amazing.
Thank you.
That's so crazy that that happened to you in school.
Yeah, kids are
Kids
mean.
are just so mean.
Well, I feel like it's also, I honestly don't fault them either. It is really how you're brought up.
Yeah.
It really is how you're brought up, how you're raised at home.
Some kids just
like,
don't know better. Yeah.
like we're always supposed to give love.
Right.
If you want to receive love, you should give love back. But I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, if I give love and it's not receptive, why should I
give it at all?
Always give love.
You should do it because that's who you are, not because of how others will react to it.
Exactly. It shows your character, and it also shows that you never know what the other person's going through. Because you never know what you do or say could be the catalyst to being the final thing that that person will remember, and it might push them over the edge. Just be kind to people. And even if they are rude to you back or they don't accept your kindness, I do believe in karma. Karma is real, and at the end of it, it's in God's hand. It's in the universe, source, whoever everyone believes in. It's in their hand.
I'm sorry you went through that.
No, it's okay. I mean, you went through a couple episodes ago. I remember somebody also went through the same thing as well.
Yeah. Like you talking about getting bullied in middle school reminded me, it flashed me back to, this is just a random little tidbit. This is a random Tiffany tidbit.
You have more of those. That's a great segment.
Tiffany tidbit. In I think it was like fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade. I don't know what grade. I was literally bullied by these two guys that they were the cool kids, you know, they were the skater boys, and he had the Justin Bieber hair and all the girls loved him and stuff. And of course I had a crush on him too because he was cute. Right?
Maybe he had a crush on you.
He absolutely did not, because I had a book of Pokemon cards. You know those binders where you put with the card sleeves and you put the cards in them? And I would bring that to school because as a little Asian kid, I loved Pokemon. Those two boys took my binder, and it was the literal quintessential elementary school bullying scene. I'm standing in the middle and they were throwing the binder over my head. It was awful. It was so it was so sad.
It's okay.
Yeah. So kids are mean.
It's okay.
I don't know why I'm thinking about that. Like, I don't know. It was a binder of Pokemon cards. Why am I crying?
Cut the camera. It's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near where you went through. But kids are just so mean when you want to be yourself. And so now here I am. I'm still weird, and you surround yourself with people that love you and accept you for who you are. So That's my Tiffany tidbit. Sorry, I don't know why I'm crying about these damn Pokemon cards. That is so funny. That's my trauma. You're no. Cindy's over here talking about how she was bulimic, and I'm over here crying about freaking Pokemon cards.
But it was traumatic for you.
The juxtaposition is crazy. No, it's funny. It's funny now. We can laugh now. I know I'm crying now, but it's funny. we can
laugh about it now.
We can laugh now.
But you're right.
It's just people don't
realize what they're going through.
Yeah.
And how much what you can do and say affect other people.
It really affects
and
people.
It might stick, as you can see, it might stick for years. So the two guys that bullied her,
I know,
in middle school,
what are they up to now? Who knows?
I hope you're watching this or you're listening to this.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I was a weird kid, but you didn't have to do that. Like, what? I mean, it's funny. You can laugh. It's funny, but yeah, you don't know what will stick with people for the rest of their lives. Like the guy that grabbed your stomach, that's so messed up. And I'm sorry that he did that. And I'm sorry that I'm crying over Pokemon cards and you spilled your trauma to me.
But it wasn't just about the Pokemon cards. It's just the actions. It's the reaction from the actions of these two guys who they just didn't understand. I honestly feel it is how you grew up with environment, how you're raised, your family, everything. It all just boils down to. But I shouldn't be over here telling people how to raise their kids. All I'm saying,
it is true though. You are a product of your environment, and I don't know those boys well, obviously, because we weren't friends, obviously. But you can just tell that people that act that way towards others, it's almost a cry for help. They need love, because when you are loved, you don't act that way towards other people. So
no,
that's how I see it.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to give love. And don't expect anything back, because giving love is the best thing you can do. That's actually one of the biggest lessons God had ever taught me and a lot of people. It's in the Bible too. It's actually tattooed on my freaking wrist.
Oh my gosh!
It's it actually, funny thing is, it was read today during my friend's wedding ceremony.
Oh, what was it?
Corinthians 13:4. 8. Love never fails.
Exactly.
Because love is patient, love is kind, love never fails. And again, just give love.
Yeah.
Love is definitely needed in this freaking world right now. With everything going on. Just be kind to your neighbors. Be kind to the people on the streets.
Yeah, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what
will stick.
What will stick and what won't, and how that affects people for the rest of their lives, really. It was such a stupid.
It's okay.
Tiffany tidbits are not fun. It's okay. They're traumatic Tiffany tidbits.
Yeah, this podcast is also our therapy session too.
It is our therapy session, but going back to that, I will say I feel like one of my fears is that I'm not interesting enough. That's one of my fears that I have in terms of my personality or my character. And it's because, back then I think I was a very interesting kid. I was fun. I liked fairies. I liked playing pretend.
Aww.
I liked Pokemon. And I got bullied for being weird. Bullied for not being the status quo.
Not being the typical Asian girl.
Or I guess maybe I was a typical Asian girl, kind of nerdy and stuff, and that just sticking out like a sore thumb compared to everyone else in class. So, yeah.
Trying so hard not to cry right now.
I am. I don't know why.
It's okay.
What's going on today? I'm not even on my period. It's okay. But yeah, I do fear that I'm not interesting enough for people.
Well, you are interesting to us.
And
to me.
I don't know. Well, thank you. I think I'm interesting. But I always have that underlying fear of if I'm talking to someone and it's do they even care about me? Do they care about what I'm saying at all? Why do I expend my energy on people when
I feel like Tommy.
I know I'm a crybaby?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, why do I expend energy on people when they could turn around and go, wow, Tiffany is so weird. Like, she's so weird. I don't know. Obviously, people love me, and people tell me every day how fun I am, how interesting I am. But it just takes me back to when I was a kid, and I was a fun kid, and I got bullied for that. And so I feel like sometimes I hold back on showing people who I really am.
Is that why you feel you have to put up a front sometimes when you meet people?
Yeah, that's why I have that whole confidence thing, right? It's all fake, fake it till you make it. And I'm fun. I'm a hostess. I love to throw parties, I have people around me all the time, always telling my fun little stories. And I guess it's because I feel the need to convince myself that I am fun, I am interesting. People do enjoy my company. Yeah, of course they do. They're coming to my house. They're coming to my parties. Of course I'm interesting, but it's always in the back of my head that I'm that weird little kid with her fucking binder of Pokemon cards.
Oh, it's okay.
I don't know why I'm crying so much.
It's okay, it's okay. You've been under a lot of stress too. It's okay.
Yeah, I have been under a lot of stress. My hair's falling out. Yeah, okay. But that is also one of my biggest fears. So now I'm done crying. And Cindy, take over, or else I'm gonna cry some more. Okay. Oh my God, Cindy, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I don't know why I'm crying so much today.
It's okay, it's okay.
Wow, this is a lot of
Remember?
unlocked trauma, which I didn't know existed inside of me.
It's okay. I mean, everybody has their breaking point. You've
Yeah,
been through
I
a lot of
guess.
stress, and you've been through a lot,
Yeah.
It's work, and then having the podcast, and
Yeah,
then
my
everything
hair's falling out.
changing. Self-care is very... Everybody needs that release, Everybody needs that just... Again, how you met Tommy. I felt like Tommy just now. Wiping, like the game of wiping your tears.
Everyone get in line to wipe T's tears, because T's a crybaby.
You're a cute crybaby. You're a pretty crybaby.
Am I pretty?
Yes, you're beautiful. You're a pretty crybaby.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, everybody needs that release. It's okay. And if this is somehow your way to release, it'll inspire other people to start talking to people
And crying.
and cry. And maybe they'll start their own podcast or start vlogging.
Yeah.
Because again, you don't know if you put it online, there will be haters, but there will be people who also look at it as, oh damn, she's going through what I'm going through. Because honestly, I bet you a lot of people did not realize we have all these insecurities. When they look at us,
Yeah.
they probably think, oh, she doesn't have any insecurities, or like she doesn't have any flaws or like negative thoughts or whatever. But no, this is all real. We're very
Just because we look put together
We're not.
doesn't mean we got a lot going on under the surface.
Yeah, a lot of baggage. Sorry,
A lot of baggage.
Warning, a lot of baggage. I think that's my red flag. But
Oh my gosh,
I'm
no. It makes you fun. It makes you interesting.
yeah, it actually shows me who was willing to stay and who's willing to
Yes.
actually put in the work to unload my baggage. But that does not mean I have to put all my baggage, put my baggage onto other people. They're not responsibility. But meeting somebody to actually talk about your past and not being judged and not be misunderstood, and it's scary because it's hard to just open up like that. And it's hard to also, you just keep thinking, if it fails, you have to redo it again. And oh damn it, now I'm thinking all about
My relationship sucked.
I've been in so many failed relationships where I guess that's why I have such a guarded heart now, is because I've been in so many failed relationships where I always had to constantly put myself out there, be vulnerable. And it does not mean I won't stop, because I do want to get married one day. I do want to meet someone. But it does get tiring.
Yeah.
It does get very, very disheartening to constantly always put myself out there. But that does not mean I will not, because one day somebody will appreciate it. And because I haven't met the one to put myself out there yet, does not mean like I'll close myself off from my friends.
Exactly.
My mom, like me and my mom, we do have an amazing relationship, but she doesn't know what I would tell my friends, but then my friends would not know what I tell my mom. So oh man, I'm like realizing all my character flaws right now. Because I realized that I haven't fully shown somebody, or like the last time, nobody really seen all the sides of me. I'm being vulnerable. We're being hella vulnerable. We're being hella vulnerable.
I did not expect to cry. I thought this would be a hee hee ha ha episode. I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd be light. I talked about the fear of getting unalived, so I thought that was fun. And then I started crying, so that wasn't fun.
At least
back on the train, back on the thought train. So would you say that's one of your fears then, is to open up to people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is one of my psychological fears, I guess.
Yeah.
Psychological?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one of my psychological fear, is opening up to people and being vulnerable. Because I am scared of being misjudged.
Yeah.
Because it just sucks. You know, I just keep thinking about all the times that I have always been misjudged. Or like my intentions were misunderstood.
Yeah.
And so thinking about all the times that
it's okay. We don't have to talk about that. Okay. Cindy's turn. There you go. Cindy's turn. I gotta grab it out, kids. I gotta grab it out. Why are we crying so much? Why did we do this? We're done. Oh my gosh, why did we do this?
it's okay.
We're being vulnerable. We're opening up.
Yes, we are. Yeah, wow. We are very.
What's happening today? The feminine energy in this room is through the fucking roof. It's okay. It's okay. We don't have to talk about that. We'll just cut all that part out.
Oh no, it's okay. We're being real. We're being raw. So I don't mind. Oh,
do you think you'll be able to talk about it?
Yeah. Okay. It's good to talk about things. You know, I was like brought up to like my thingy earlier about being able, if it starts with me, and if I can open up and talk about it, it'll hopefully inspire somebody else to do it. And you know, change starts with me, you know. But yeah, it goes back to thinking about all the relationships I've ever been in, where I always put like, I am the person that would put it all in the beginning. Because I feel like I have to prove to myself my self-worth and everything, because I always felt like I wasn't good enough. And it did stem from the environment I was in where people was telling me that I wasn't good enough. And I'm a lot happier now, okay? But it hurt a lot to just having to remember like all the times where I did open up about certain things. And the first reaction wasn't the best reaction, or being told that. And but I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But it's
hard to find
it's just
people that you can really trust to just accept you for you.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I'm not going to fully blame other people either.
Yeah.
It did also help me take a step back to really evaluate maybe my actions are causing to trigger them. Maybe there is a better approach and to work on myself and to do better and be better and do a lot of self-reflecting, because again, we all don't think the same.
Right.
We all don't. When we look at something, we will have different definitions or different interpretation of it. So just because they don't understand, it doesn't matter what my intention is. It's how they perceive it at the end of it, because I can try to sit there, explain my intention, which I have done so many times.
Yeah.
But if the same reaction keeps happening, that's where I learned that it's probably not just me. It's them too. And how they react, it's not on me. And that's what I also was an important lesson that I learned this year, was how somebody react towards my intention, my actions. It's not me.
It's out of your hands how people will react to.
And that's also why how you react, you should think before reacting. It's a lesson that I'm teaching my son about how to react, like to think before reacting, because how you react really does affect other people. And so that was also another lesson I learned this year. I was being very quick tempered, and I wasn't holding space for people to talk, and that was very unfair of me to do. And that made me really sit back and think, if I don't want to be treated that way, why am I doing it? I know a lot of people would say, oh, that it's all your toxic exes, blah blah blah, it's all their fault. It's as much as people also have told me I shouldn't, I honestly forgive and I thank them all, because it really helped me grow as the person I am today. And thinking back to all the terrible times and the good times, it keeps helping me reshape me and learn more, like, okay, why was it like this? How can I make it better so that I can not do that to other people or help other people going through the same thing? And yeah, I honestly do, not just my exes, all the people that I've been wronged by, I forgive them. But that does not mean you can re-enter my life. However, I forgive them, even if they'll never say sorry or anything. Because I'm in no position to judge. And plus, it's so much headache to just have hate in your heart.
Yes.
And I just don't want to have room for hate anymore. And it's okay. I may never get those apologies, and I'm okay living life like that.
Yeah, just making peace within yourself. And and the forgiveness of them is more so really for your peace of mind and for your health and sanity, really. Because holding grudges in your heart, holding hate in your heart, it does nothing. They don't know that. They don't feel what you feel. So it really just hurts you at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does. And I am also going to say I am also sorry for all the people I've hurt. And you don't have to accept my apology. I'm not gonna reach out and over explain myself over and over again, but I also am sorry for everyone that I've ever hurt. And that's all I can say.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we all go through life for the first time. We learn from our mistakes. We make mistakes a lot. I've definitely said things and done things that were hurtful to people. Maybe it wasn't my intention to hurt them, but you know, we all learn things. We all make mistakes, and really what's important is self-reflection and thinking about, what did I do? Why did I do that? How did that affect others? And learning from it and being better for it. Because that's all you can do after some sort of, I don't know, train wreck situation, like with a relationship or with a friend, with a falling out. Okay, that happened. What can I do? All I can do is move on and be better, hope that it doesn't happen again, but if it does, I know what to do for next time, and you're better off for it.
Everything that happens negatively, even if it's like, for example, I don't know, you get angry over road rage or something, instead of thinking like, why the fuck did that happen? Think more, why did it happen and what lesson am I going to learn from it? It's your mindset that shapes how your life will be. And if you're in a constant state of negativity and anger, you're going to just have terrible results, bad results, constant bad results, because you're just so focused on the angry, the madness, the chaos. But sitting back, dissecting into a more, so what is this teaching me, or how can it improve my life, or how can I be better or become better from this? It helped. That also helped a lot for me to pull through this year. Oh my god, I had to learn oh my god, like that helped a lot this year. And that's why I've been trying to teach my family. I feel like one of our generational curse where we're constantly negatively being in that toxic mindset or that constant like
we're never enough.
It is a little hard to shift that mindset, but I believe everyone can do it. You just have to repeat it to yourself, be surrounded by supportive family and friends. And if you don't have that supportive family and friends, there are communities out there. There is always somebody for someone. But if you really feel you can't or don't have the means to, staring at yourself in the mirror and talking to yourself, it also helps too.
Yeah, I will say that the whole negative mindset, it's really, it doesn't change in a day. You have to be a very active participant in how you view your life. And whether it's through internal work, through yourself and looking in the mirror, reminding yourself every day, or externally through friends. And in the instance that you feel like you can't trust your friends and you can't trust your partners with certain things in your life, or you're scared of judgment, therapy, honestly, is so helpful. I've been to therapy a few times. I don't go consistently, but I do think that just talking to someone really helps, especially if if they're not taking sides in any situation. You know, they are very strictly a third party looking inwards at your story, whatever you're telling them.
I was in therapy in high school. I no longer go because things happened. Things shifted, but that's also how I found out I was bipolar too. Therapy does help a lot. It really started like that drive, that kick to, hey, you need to start working on yourself. You need to have more self-love to yourself. And I would go back whenever I feel the little darkness inside grow. because I have been suicidal a couple of times, and I would go back because I know I can't do this just by myself, and it is hard to talk about certain things to friends and family because, as my point earlier, my friends know some things, my moms know some things. They both never know the same thing.
Exactly.
And talking to a neutral, somebody that don't know you,
You just lay it all out.
yeah. Sometimes the very first therapist you do book will not.
They won't be the one for you.
The one for you.
You have to find the right one.
Do not stop trying. Do not until you meet the person that you feel that connection. Like, you just can feel off from vibes, from how it all. Just don't stop trying, because if it did not work out the first time.
Exactly.
That's one of my really, really, really good / best friend have said. Always try things twice, because you never know the first time, because the first time is very awkward, very.
It takes a few sessions to even get to the heart of the issues.
Exactly. So don't stop trying just because it did not work out the first time.
And I will say, a lot of the things my therapist said to me stuck with me. Even when I'm thinking of a certain situation, when I'm saying certain things, I pause and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be thinking or talking this way because my therapist said da 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 da, and it really does help to just get a neutral side, a neutral opinion on things. And they're not there to be like, wow, yeah, your friend is so messed up. They ask you the question, so how do you feel about what are you doing about that to change that, or
Yeah, I was so very apprehensive whenever my therapist would always relate back to me, but now I understand why. Because it really is it's me.
Yes.
And yes, they can help me through the trauma by talking about it, but they can't change the past, they can't do all that. It's just, how am I going to shift my perspective? How am I going to shift my focus? How am I going to shift everything that's going through my mind to how can it improve my life? How can I make it better?
Yeah, because the things that happen around you, situations that happen around you, you can't control situations. You can't control the outcome of things. All you can control is how you react to it, how you perceive it. And that has been a very big theme, I feel like, in both of our lives this year. And I've done so much self-reflecting this year, and I feel like a lot of terrible situations have happened, and it's really made me think more on, it's made me more mindful of how I react to things. And I feel like it is easier for me to let go now of negative situations. So yeah, there is a lot of negative stigma to going to therapy, because it's like, oh, you're going to a therapist, something must be wrong with you. No, it's just getting professional help, getting professional, objective help, really.
Something's wrong with them if they're judging you like that.
Like, no one should ever judge another person for going to therapy. I find it so helpful. Even if you don't feel like you really have huge problems in life, if something's bothering you, just go talk to someone.
Exactly. They're not
a professional.
Yeah. Just go unhinge on the professional.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Again. And they will give you honest, unfiltered feedback. Yeah.
I know that therapy is also very expensive too.
Yeah, it is.
But I think there might be like,
sometimes it's covered under insurance. Sometimes there's ones that have a financial aid sort of situation, but it is expensive, but I will say it is very helpful.
It is. And again, you can also do free therapy by going to, if you're 21 and up, a bar and go talking to your bartender. I have been the unlicensed therapist for a lot of people. Yeah. Because, you're sitting there with your drink, and what else are you going to talk about, Yeah. And what else am I going to do other than, we're also there to build rapport and getting to know your clients and your guests. Things would be spilled onto you even if though you never asked for it. But the fact that they trust me or trust us enough to do that. That's oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But
because they're not going to do that to some random other
Yeah.
bartender. You have an aura that is very accepting of others.
oh,
Like
thank you.
you don't seem like you judge anyone really off the bat. You know what I mean? You are very accepting and loving and kind. And I don't know if you've always been like that or if it's from all these past experiences, but you have a very welcoming aura and people can open up to you very easily. So I think that's why people do that. Don't start crying. Don't start crying. We've cried enough. Don't start.
No, it's just I have this weird thing where like when people start complimenting, it's just I feel very awkward because it's just I don't know how to react because I'm not used to it. Yeah. And so it's thank you.
My friend taught me this thing about receiving compliments. She said that she used to feel terrible receiving compliments and awkward and feel like she didn't deserve it. So she started doing this thing where she will open her arms and be like, thank you so much. Like she's like accepting the compliment physically. You know, she's like, oh, you're so pretty. Thank you so much. I accept that compliment. You know? And so because it's like a physical act of taking it in, it makes your brain feel like
That's like
accepted.
that's also hugging your inner child
it's
too.
like, thank you. I like
I love that.
scooping it into your heart.
Thank you.
Scoop the compliment in.
I mean, I do some
Yeah, but
praises
that is a
and stuff,
cool.
but, that's
It's a cool way to think about it. So that was really cool. I like that.
I'm gonna start doing that now. I learned a new technique.
Yeah, so because compliments, I know it is really hard to accept compliments because it feels like stroking your ego or something, or that you don't deserve it. But no, it's people say it with a genuineness that you just gotta take it in. You gotta take the love from other people because you deserve it.
Oh, you deserve the world too.
Thank you.
You're very strong.
Aw,
You are very strong.
I just cried about Pokemon cards.
But no.
But thank you.
I could just imagine like everybody like just having these different opinions on you, and the fact that you're still able to just have that confidence.
I don't know. Like I said, a lot of mindfulness this year, a lot of thinking about how I can react to things, how I can perceive things. So, yeah, that's really been my theme for 2024 is focusing on myself, minding my business, being mindful, and just kind of shutting up sometimes.
I felt that.
Yeah, but I honestly didn't even know I had that trauma within me about that stupid binder thing because I did not know I was gonna cry to that. I thought it would be a silly little story, but I guess I did have. Yeah, I guess that's where my fear of not being interesting stems from. I guess it's like these kids quite literally bullied me for being weird and interesting. I don't know. That's the end of that segment. Okay. Well, anyway, mindfulness, everyone. Practice mindfulness. Don't bully others. Or maybe if you do by accident, reflect on your actions. I don't know. This was an episode that I did not know it was going to go in that direction. So
There's a lot.
take what resonates and leave the rest behind. That's all I have to say.
Definitely. Yes, I agree. Take what resonate, discern everything else, but also just give love. Just always show love.
Give love, be kind, no matter what.
Not just people, but to yourself too, because you deserve love. We all do. We all deserve love.
Period. All right, well, that is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, leave an email. See you next time. Bye.